Greetings all and welcome back to Globbits Gaming Channel. A little bit of announcement: if you're watching this video, today is my birthday. If you're watching it on the 16th of July, I put it up for release on the Thursday in the early hours of the morning, and I decided that I was going to pre-record this particular replay well in advance, because I'm going to be doing the square root of nothing on my birthday. Well, it's not strictly true. I'm actually running a sparring session for our karate club on the evening, so I'm probably going to get my ass kicked there, probably, you know, go around with everybody in the club or something like that. I don't know, they'll probably have something planned for me, probably end up with a black eye, fat lip and a busted knuckle, and then I'm going to jiu-jitsu straight afterwards, so we should have some funny shenanigans there. So I doubt we have any chance to do any recording or anything. The stronghold battles seem to have got a very decent response in the comments, which is really nice to see. One little thing I'd like to add in my defence, for those of you that have commented on the T21 VK target discussion that we had during the video. Basically, if you go back and watch the video, it's the Tier 6 Stronghold game that I released yesterday or the day before, today being Monday the 13th, so it's probably on Saturday. People are saying that we should have killed the T21 first. Now, I hasten to add, I would like to add my 10 pence into this. The reason I told the guys to focus the VKs is because the T21, yes, it does have an awesome DPM, probably the best DPM of all the Tier 6 scouts, but he was running away and he was doing mobile stuff. And I perceived the VKs, who were sat stationary, using his vision as the priority. Okay, and when you make these decisions in battle, you have to kind of, you know, stick with your guns, and it seemed to work okay. Now, if the T21 was in a, how can I put it, a wolf pack like we were, yes, you focus the guy down, I understand that, but he wouldn't have been able to utilise his DPM running around the battlefield at 60 kilometres an hour, whatever it is they can actually achieve. So that was my reason for targeting that VK, so I just wanted to clear the air there. Alright, so back to my birthday. Happy birthday to me. I'm 32 years old, 32 going on strong, or as I like to call it, excuse me, 16 with 16 years of experience. Anyway, so the replay I'm going to show you today is from a guy called Maxima. He's one of our clan members, and he's using this thing here, the Cromwell, or the Cromwell Berlin, or as people like to call it, the Bromwell. What do you need to know about this vehicle? Well, it is pretty much the same as the normal Cromwell, in pretty much all respects. Now, I know there's some of you out there going, well, actually, Globbits, it's actually slightly faster, and it has a better terrain resistance, Yeah, and that's the end of them. Okay, it's pretty much pound for pound exactly the bloody same as a Cromwell. It just looks prettier. All right, especially with camouflage. I like all the writing on it and all that kind of stuff. So, Maximat's going to show you how to use this tank to its potential. This game had a little bit of everything, so let's get straight into the battle. So, the preliminary bombardment's gone in. We are on fiery salient, platooned up with Dan Stevens and Quojin, all from my clan. Tier 7 game. Quite heavy Tier 7 game. There's a good mix. It's not actually a heavy Tier 7 game, actually. We've actually got a lot more Tier 7s than they have. We've got like 2, 3 more. But hey-ho. Who's to say, you know, that's going to make a difference? This game pretty much had everything for me. The guys are working as a team, a unit of 3. But they split up at the start. Now, I was kind of umming and ahhing. When I'm playing in a platoon, especially with 3 fast mediums like the Cromwells, I like to try and stick together, but Dan actually goes off and actually does some good early spots on the ridge, and getting early information can be quite useful, but the Cromwell isn't really that useful on the ridge. It's not got the greatest gun depression of all the mediums, really. I mean, it's okay, but it is what it is. You know, we made the choice and we stick with it. So Q, a Jagdpanther, in fact, both the Jagdpanthers I think are coming up. Let's just have a little bit of a look-see. Yeah, looks like, oh, a Panther and a Jagdpanther and a little M7. Oh, that poor old M7. Not a very good tank by all accounts. I hated it, but there you go. And we're taking up a really good bush location. Now, what to note about this particular bush location here? It's not that safe if there's somebody already up there on the enemy team, because the bottoms of the bushes are actually got holes in them. The amount of times I get caught out in my heavies on this hill, it's unbelievable. So we're just waiting for the enemy to come over the ridge. Normally the hull down tanks like to go here, things like here, well, in this particular matchup, let's say M6s, stuff like that. I would expect to see the M6 up here. Sorry, not the M6, the T1 Heavy. I'd expect to see things like, I don't know, maybe the Black Prince up here. I don't know, maybe the T25 too, but it is what it is. We'll see what happens. And there's a KV-85. Now, he's not really got the gun depression at all to really be working that bridge very well, especially against the targets that are in front of him. But it is what it is, and we managed to get 2 Cupola snipes. Now, Max has got 6th sense on this tank, but he doesn't get spotted because that KV-85 is in what they call a double bush location. If you're not sure what a double bush location means, boys and girls, go and check out my camo video, my Globbits Explains camo video, and you'll understand what we mean by that. Now, Quojian's gone forward. Now, this turns out to be a bad idea. Simple reason, he's getting crossfired from that Hellcat down there. That is not a good place to go where he is there, and unfortunately he gets owned by the crossfire from the road and also the guys up here. Now what Max is doing now, he's staying undetected, he's just putting shots in. Okay, and it's all good. The T1 Heavy's come up as I predicted. I figured he would. I haven't actually watched this replay, guys, so I'm not 100% sure what's going on. I've flashed through it. But the T1 Heavy decides to pop up. Now, Max fires a AP round at the Black Prince and then switches to APCR ammunition, which, to be perfectly honest with you, if you notice down at the bottom there, he switched to the 2 ammunition, which is APCR ammunition, which has actually got 202mm pen as opposed to 145, so that's a good switch. But unfortunately, he kind of forgets to switch back to AP. Now, he's using the APCR, I assume, to snipe the cupola of the KV-85, because when you're shooting small targets, especially when they turn, you know, their turrets nice before you give you a flush shot, that little bit of extra pen can make the difference. And he basically sticks with APCR, hoping that the Black Prince will come back up again. And then he starts shooting at the Hellcat and forgets to change back to ammunition. No big deal as such, because he ends up pretty much using all of his ammo anyway. But yeah, he's kind of shooting gold at Hellcats. They tend to get mardy when you do that, by the way, when you shoot gold at Hellcats. They tend to, like, lose all their fur and just, you know, claws fall out and stuff. But it's all good. So Dan Stevens and Max are still working the ridge, and we're basically just waiting now. Now, this is the key thing about medium tank play. If you're not going to be a wolf pack, if you're not going to go around causing absolute nightmares and havoc, you've got to play the patient game. Now, I've learnt this very, very late in my World of Tanks career. I've played nearly 11,000 games now. And you've got to survive to do well. And I keep dying far too early. My win rate is like 57.8, I think it is. But my survival rate's in the low 30s. I pretty much die in like 7 out of the 10 games that I play in an evening. Because I sometimes get a little bit too aggressive and get myself wiped out trying to do everything at once. But I'm so used to team games at the moment. The clan's played over, I think it's nearly 2,000 stronghold battles and God knows how many team battles over the last like year or so, and unfortunately I'm trying to get in that team mindset. I've got to be aware of what I'm playing. There's a couple of guys in the clan actually, a couple of guys that came across to play team games that basically don't play randoms anymore. They've moved on to other game modes. They're playing Ark and things like that, and then they're only doing team nights when we play the team games because they just can't stand random battles. And that's fair enough, I guess, because some of the teams you get, you're completely left out to the dogs by your teams, and it's just like, ugh, because you can't really do that much on your own. One thing I would like to highlight about this replay, now I've got that rant over with about Ramblers. Max's use of the right-click aim in this match. We notice at this stage he's actually switched back to his standard ammunition now to shoot this KV-1. I think he noticed around about this. I'm not sure if he actually meant to shoot APCR. I'm going to have to clarify that with him in the comments. So Max, if you could just clarify in the comments, was it a mistake? Was you just basically heart pounding, blood rushing, adrenaline pumping, losing the game, need to just kill stuff kind of mode? What was I saying? Yeah. So he switched back to his ammunition when he's shooting the KV-2 in the village. And guys that only play the team games, that's absolutely fine. People are branching off and doing other things, and I've got absolutely no issues with that at all. And we've managed to get the arse of a Black Prince, which is fantastic. I've actually started playing other games as well. I've started to play World of Warships. I've started to play Ark as well, get to tame dinosaurs. Basically, Ark is a game where you force feed dinosaurs until they love you. It's a really, really good game as a chill out. I've also started playing Terraria again. Is that something you guys would be interested in? I'm kind of going to stick to what I know from now on. I mean, I've done a couple of series on the channel. I've attempted to do a Beyond Earth playthrough, but they're just not receiving the attention that I would expect from the fan base. And if that's not something you guys want to see, I'm not going to bother doing it anymore because they are quite difficult to review. But if there's any games that you can, like Terraria or Ark, any guys you think would be interested in seeing, then let me know in the comments. Now, here's the thing. Max doesn't get spotted by this KV2, which I thought was absolutely amazing. Look how close he is, and this KV2 just does not spot him and simply shoots. And by then, you can't snapshot a KV2, not like that, unless you sacrifice a hell of a lot of dissidence to the Stalin gods. Now he's been ammo racked, and this is where things start to get interesting. He starts to circle strafe the artillery, and we use right-click aim. No problem with this at all. He's quite low on ammunition though. I maybe would have switched to HE at this stage, but again, in the moment, he's getting shot at by a Hellcat. He's getting shot at by a Panzer IV-S as well, I'd imagine. Maybe even a TOG. There's more than one tank's worth of rounds coming in. So he decides to hightail it, and he is getting absolutely lashed with enemy fire here. And he's putting the speed to work, making himself a quick target, and he repairs his ammo rack. He's still getting shot at. He's still spotted. So he managed to duck down and use this this little bit of a valley thing here made by the track, and he gets himself into some bushes. Now you're going to see an absolute bloody masterclass in bushwork. Check this out. He's using the bushes, he broke contact, he's using the hard cover of the ridges, and he basically finds the biggest bush he can to give himself a chance to tell this Hellcat to get his arse in gear. And then, oh my days, that is a full health TOG. And we've got, let's work it out, 26 rounds of ammo left. It's at this stage he starts using right click aim. Now at this range I'm not too sure this is a good idea. I would be in sniper mode here trying to shoot this guy, but who am I? You know, were we panicking? No idea, because we've started to ricochet, and this is the issue. Now we start aiming. Yeah, there we go. Now the replay bugs out a little bit here. He is actually aiming. Now he doesn't spot the TOG, so what he has to do is he has to move forward, reacquire him. Now I'm assuming this TOG, being an orange player, hasn't probably got a full 100% crew, but he doesn't take the shot here. As you can see by the TOG's gun barrel, he doesn't know where he is. Max still hasn't been spotted by him, so what he's going to do, keep him highlighted for a couple of seconds and then reverse back down to his original position and make sure that the target reticule from the TOG is actually opaque. Again, I reiterated this in my camo video. This TOG will not spot him. Watch this.
Enemy is hit.
Not spotted. Not spotted. TOG's getting a bit pissed now. He drops off the radar. We move back to our original bush location, reacquire him. He still hasn't spotted us, he still doesn't know where we are. He's looking at the direction of where the shots came from. We get back into cover till the TOG becomes opaque completely. Glance that off on his side, but again we're using right click aim. No big deal. And again, popping the shots in, we're running low on ammo now. All we've got is APCR left. We don't necessarily need this APCR for the TOG, but it's the only rounds we've got left. We don't want to start firing high explosive at him. We kind of want to save that for the Archer when he decides to show up, really. Where's the TOG? Ah, there he is. He's actually hiding in the bushes. We need to get back and get double bush location again, but we've been spotted. We fired that last round too early. We're in trouble now. We're still on right click aim, and now we're starting to take hits. Panzer IV-S has decided to start shooting at us. And what? Was that a lucky bounce or what? We need to get into some sort of hard cover. Now the Hellcat's moved up. This Hellcat's been pretty much about as much use as tits on a fish until about now. But now he's in a position where if this TOG decides to assault us, he can hopefully shoot him, and not necessarily saying he's going to hit him, but that guy needs to die. I was really concerned when you right click aimed there, but RNG's has paid off. It's all good. It's all good. Right click aiming, ladies and gents, has its place, and I'm not criticising Max in any way, shape or form. At long to medium ranges, I very rarely use it. I use it for peeking over ridges and strafing people, but it is what it is. Now, good 195 damage in there from the Hellcat. I think the Hellcat may have the 76mm. I'm not too sure, because I don't think the 90mm can actually load that roll. I might be wrong. It might be it can. But we're on 140 damage. But if you look at our health, we can't... Oh, thank you, Hellcat. Alright, awesome sauce. We managed to take him out. Unfortunately, we could have done with that kill, really, to top the 4,000 damage mark. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is nearly a 4,000 damage game in a Cromwell B. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to wait for the Archer. He's a red player, and by all accounts, yes, he's got less than 1,000 games. He's not going to be that experienced. So the Hellcat does the right thing here. As much as I was criticising him earlier, he gets his arse into the cap. Alright, and puts pressure on this Archer. This Archer now has to come back and try and reset the cap. and the only direction he's going to come from. We know that the 7, 8, 9, 0 line are safe. The only player where this archer could be, he hasn't been spotted the whole game. So I believe he's going to be on this side somewhere in all the bushes where the tank destroyers normally hang out. So we just got to wait. Now, if we wait for 1 minute and 20 seconds, we're going to win. We've still got time left, so we can still win by capping if all else fails. I'm pretty sure at this point, Max is just thanking all the gods that create and the adrenaline gods for keeping his heart going, because I'm sure his heart was in his mouth while that tug was assaulting him. And now we're just waiting for the archer to turn up. And it's going to be a bit of a wait. We've only got a minute left, so what we're going to do is we're going to speed the replay up slightly, just by 2. There we go. Fire gets a little bit brighter, smoke goes up a little bit quicker. Where do you think he's going to come from? Pretty much exactly where Max is looking, if I'm perfectly honest with you. I didn't expect him to be anywhere else, but what really... Spitfire's dogfighting, I like that. I didn't really expect him to do what he did, this archer. He's driving backwards. I was kind of a loss for words at this stage. Does the archer go faster in reverse? Is that something, or faster the other way round? Is it? I think it is actually a Crusader chassis, isn't it? Alright, so he drove backwards into the enemy's guns. Happy days are here again. Post-game stats time. Well, that went well, didn't it? Right then, let's just break this down. So we managed to hit and damage 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 tanks, destroying 7. And critically hitting quite a lot of people. We banged Joe the Archer quite nicely. It was all gravy. Got the mastery badge on the Cromwell, or the Bromwell as it's referred to, the Cromwell B, which is, a lot of people have got these tanks that are very, very, very good at them, and that's a big thing to get the mastery badge. 5 for effect. Arsonist, managed to destroy the Black Prince by fire, which I wish you had the mission selected there, by the way. I hope you did. Spotter, so we managed to do more than 1,000 spotting damage. And also Bruiser. Managed to net ourselves a Spartan medal, high caliber, and a Top Gun. And on the team list, yeah, almost 1,000 points clear of the nearest person on our team, and over triple what the best player on the enemy team got. Yeah, 4,324 damage. So we must have hit some of those shells maybe on the KV2 when we were firing blind, firing our APCR blind into the village there. So we did manage to get a couple of bits. Or was that from the Archer? No, I think that was from the KV2. Alright. Yeah, there's nothing more to say about it, really. The stats speak for itself. That's one of the highest base XP games I've ever seen in a Cromwell. I don't even think my base experience, I've played a lot of games in a Cromwell, is as high as that, so GG Max. Detailed report, cost him quite a bit of money. Like, it is a premium tank, but boy, Jesus, that ammunition is expensive. But even if it took less AP ammo, he would have still, you know, oh wow. Now, ammunition selection, I know I harped on a little bit of the right-click aiming, but, you know, it is what it is. But we did cost us a bit. We still managed to make 25,000 credits profit, though. Out of the 58 shots we fired, 39 hits with 33 penetrations. And over 1,600 damage from over 300 metres away. And with the Cromwell gun, that's not bad at all. And we managed to get just over 1,000 spotting damage, getting us the spotter medal. Yep, so there you go, Maxi boy. Told you I'd make the video, buddy. Right, on to the birthday shenanigans then. I shall go raise a few glasses after I've been beat up a cry. Catch you later, guys, and bye now.